Oh my gosh.
It is sticky, sticky, sticky. Oh yeah.
These seats are nice.
You got manual tilt and slide and electric up and down.
I love it. These seats were my favorite. And nothing in the back, not even seatbelts. I love that.
This is a Ray airbag steering wheel.
Yeah, so what's up with that?
Well, he wanted an airbag. The original one is that looks like Mr. Pillow airbag steering wheel. So.
Well, it's better than that, but this is weird.
Yeah, you have to. The guy who owned it really wanted an airbag.
I get it.
North America, no power steering, which is awesome.
Love it. I don't like the steering wheel even a little bit. I feel like I can't feel the road as much as I expect to. But oh, what a car. I love these. What do you think?
This is pretty badass.
This is badass.
So this is a 1993 RS America. Initially, these came with only 4 options. This has 3 of the 4 options. It has air conditioning, sunroof, and radio.
Whoa! And this silly steering wheel thing, right? But
that steering wheel looks really funny.
It doesn't feel right.
No,
it doesn't feel right.
It doesn't fit the look of the car. This corners really well. It must be the KW suspension.
So this has K&W?
Yep.
The thing about the 964s is they went to, this was the first 911 where they went to coilovers, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So this does not have the torsion bar set up. And it's such a different drive. Like you almost have to get used to it again because you're a little bit more planted, but it gives you the feeling that you've got the multi-link like in the later cars, but you don't.
Right.
So the rear end moves around differently, or maybe it doesn't move around as much. And I mean, this is an awfully nice car with a very high ticket sale price and stuff. I don't want to go crazy with it, so we're just kind of just 6/7 tenths.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you have the power steering. The lack of power steering is awesome. God, I just want to do donuts in here. So he said there's Cup 2s on the car, rubber-wise. So that may be also why we feel insanely planted.
Yeah.
So I'll heat it up a little bit on the way back. This was sort of just kind of feeling it out.
It does feel grippy. It feels like grippy. It really grips the road.
It's grippy.
There have been some vehicles that haven't gripped the road as much that we've driven. Sheriff. Yeah, it felt really nice and tight in those turns. The back didn't feel like it was giving too much movement. It felt very planted.
If anything, I felt like I wanted it to track out a little bit more under acceleration, and I think that it will. I just don't know the car enough yet to know where that line is, so I will push it a little bit more, but again...
Right, we've only been in the car for 5 minutes.
I don't want to
done really good for 5 minutes.
But I'm thinking, if I had this car and then you find where those lines are, I think this could be like, the most fun Porsche you could have,
Exactly. I think enough seat time, you would really get a hang of how far you can push it.
100%. Oof, I like it.
I like it too.
We're always talking about the seats, but the seats are one of the best things about these. They just hold you completely. They're the turbo sport seats, but they're not. They're cloth, so you just stay planted. What are you driving today? 94?
93.
1993 Carrera RS America. 964 variety, obviously. This is available from Auto Kennel, although it probably won't be for long. only thing I wish that they did up until the end, and I think they only did it the first couple of years, is the vent mirrors.
Yeah, I know.
I would love that.
I would love those in my car. You can modify it, but I would never want to modify this car too far.
Oh, I wouldn't do it on a car like this.
No.
Yeah. I would do it on a car like yours. James Gambit's got it on his, and I love it.
That's right, he does. His was an SC.
All right, we've got this thing plenty up to temperature now. I don't want to wring it out, but let's just feel it out. Tiny little
horns are weird.
I love the sound, but this is such a bizarre experience.
Yeah, that placement's a bit strange. Is that an aftermarket steering wheel? Or is it for?
Yes.
Okay.
He said that the guy wanted airbag. So the thing is, I hate this steering wheel, and it's taking me away from the driving experience quite a bit because I can't feel. All right, so this car is special because it doesn't have power steering, right?
Right.
But then you put this gigantic weird wheel that doesn't allow me. It isolates the feeling that I'm getting, that I'm not getting. Man, I'm not saying
you're not getting the road feedback you need on the steering wheel. Is that what it is?
100%. It's all being lost through this weird
puffy steering wheel.
Yeah, I can't describe it.
It's like you're driving a Ford Taurus.
Well,
that's what the steering wheel looks like to me.
This steering wheel would be totally fine if you had regular all-season rubber on this car. But we're riding on Cup 2s, so they're soft as it is. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't need any more isolation, and yet I have it. I mean, it's there. The car can do it. I just am not as confident because I can't feel it. The car's there. I guess once you just trust it, once you learn and trust it, you can chuck it around. Because you can feel that. I did a little.
Yeah.
And that feels nice.
And I felt it on the turn prior to that.
There's a weird floatiness to this suspension that I don't have in a 997 that's 12 years newer.
Yeah.
There's something weird about it.
Is it you're feeling it more on the way down or the way up?
Well, we're cooking a little bit more on the way down. So because I'm trying to kind of feel it and find it. I guess we'll find out now. You hear that sound?
Is that rub tire? Like rubbing?
Oh,
What was that?
I don't know. I was going to ask you if you knew what it was.
I smell brakes.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's from us, right?
Yeah, totally from us.
Whew. Just killed a bug, too.
We almost killed a squirrel.
No, I beeped. You couldn't hear it. I was beeping, so he got out of the way. Luckily, he pulled out like a mile ahead of us and just sat there instead of the last second when he would have gotten squished. I hate that. That ruins my day. Sometimes my week. I'm so Mr. Rogers, like I say a little prayer about it and everything, in my head. But the rest of the day, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I feel terrible. I feel like I gotta go do something good to make up for it,
All right, so that felt fast on the flyby.
That did feel fast on the flyby.
Was it fast?
Well, it's hard to tell, again, because this big goddamn beefy wheel in the old setup, I can't see past 60 miles an hour. Because if
that's right.
the gauge isn't turned, and the wheel is thicker than it should be, so I
can see how that would block.
We were cooking, so I wouldn't, get my head down to look.
What gear did we make it to? 5th gear?
I let off when we shifted into 5th.
Okay.
But we needed to shift into 5th
because we were revving that high.
If I had to guess, I would say we were probably in the neighborhood of 100 there.
Okay.
I wouldn't say more than that. But again, this isn't really the car you're looking for speed. This is about what the driving experience is. And it's sick and it's awesome, but it's not as raw as I thought it would be, I will say that.
I really had high expectations of this car. I don't have negative.
No, me neither. I still love it, but I feel like, maybe I need to spend more time with it.
I think that's what it is. I think you're driving it a little more carefully than you would some of the other cars just because of the rarity of the car and the history of what this car means to a lot of people.
pushing or rotating, and it's harder for me to find the correct balance. Again, because I just can't feel the steering as well. You feel it too? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I feel that in the turns we're not.
I feel like this car is amazing and it's not set up well.
No, we're not stepping out. I'm not feeling the lean I usually feel from an air-cooled car. But this is on coilovers, so I'm not used to an air-cooled vehicle on coilovers.
Right.
I haven't been in a 964.
Wait, this is your first experience in a 964?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
it's gonna kill my experience on every other 964 unless they're heavily modified.
No, yeah, I mean, no, they're great cars. They're just a little bit more mundane than, you know, we're so lucky. We're always driving kind of hopped up, raced out cars.
Right.
It's like apparently like always
all right.
dancing with the car, like it's always moving the back. Yeah, exactly.
Here's what we need, more time with this car.
I think it's more seat time. I think the idea of it being a RS America, you're being a little more cautious than you usually would. And that's because out of respect for the car and the ownership of the car. Like, it's not our car.
Yeah,
it's not your car.
It's currently owned by someone else and for sale.
Exactly.
With that, I would, like, Paul Kennel gets to have an extended test drive. He gets to drive it 100 miles to come up here.
Right.
If I had that kind of experience, I bet that this ride would have been different. This definitely is a car you need to work up to.
Yeah. Because it has so much more to get.
Yeah. It's funny though, it's weird. I wouldn't have the sticky tires on it. I think that's a mistake.
I would want more play. I would want to feel the road a bit more. And looking at the steering wheel, visually for me, I don't like the steering wheel.
Oh, dude, put your hands on it. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
bye,
Vita.
Vita. I love you. I love you too, Sean.
Later. Yeah, like, that just doesn't feel Porsche to me.
No. So it was taking away from my driving experience because I felt like I was driving a Miata.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, so right now I'm feeling the lack of power steering, and you can feel the mechanicalness of it. But this, the tactile, the part that connects the driver to all of that awesomeness, is this weird sponge that doesn't belong.
It's almost lost.
It doesn't belong. Yeah.
How was the gearbox?
So I would say that fantastic. Okay, we didn't get
so
started
at least
about that.
the gearbox is
The gearbox is amazing in all of these cars. I don't know if it's different in the RS America or if it's just because this only has 45,000 miles or what. It's great. It feels like it's new.
Okay.
There are only 5 speeds in these compared to 6s in the 996.
Okay.
993s. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Would you have this car? Not at, like, let's say this.
No.
You wouldn't?
You want to know why?
Why?
It's too expensive for me. For this.
Why'd you have to say that?
For me, it's about the driving experience. And this does not give me the driving experience that I get from a car that's half this price.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
So if you're buying it to collect it, if you're buying it to, you want to celebrate the RS, all of those things. If you're buying it from the collectability standpoint, yeah, it'll probably continue to go up. I'm guessing.
For sure.
But if you want to drive your car like I do,
this is not the
I
one.
would ruin this car in order to get it to drive the way I want it to.
Yeah.
Or I need to drive one that's completely stock without this wheel on it or something. Or just spend more time in this one. But as it is right now, no.
I see exactly what you mean.
Even though I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man. Thank you. Have a great day.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.